Good morning, students. This is my lecture number 3 for class 11th, subject English, book Hornbill, for chapter number 2. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together. Children, in lecture number 1 and lecture number 2, I gave you the complete explanation of this chapter, and today in this lecture, we will recapitulate what we studied in lecture number 1 and 2, and then we will proceed further with the textual exercise given in your book. The narrator and his wife planned a voyage around the world just like famous Captain James Cook. They have been preparing and perfecting their seafaring skills for the past 16 years. They got a ship which was 23 meters long and weighs 30-ton wooden hull named Wavewalker. They tested it in the rough weather for months. Then in July 1976, they all started their journey from Plymouth, England. They sailed from Africa to Cape Town, which was quite a pleasant journey. Before heading east, the narrator hired two crewmen, Larry and Herb, to help them tackle one of the roughest sea, the Southern Indian Ocean. The weather changed for the worse, and on January 2, the big waves hit their Wavewalker. They tried to slow the ship down by dropping storm jib and hit a heavy mooring rope in a loop across his stern, but it did not help much. They carried their life raft drill, attached lifelines, donned life jackets, and oilskins. Later in the evening, a vertical and huge wave struck the ship, and the narrator was thrown off from the ship. He accepted his approaching death and started losing consciousness. When the ship was about to overturn, a huge wave hit again and turned it right back. He suffered injuries in ribs and mouth. He grabbed the guardrail and sailed into the ship's main boom. The narrator did waterproofing on the gaping holes. This made water to deviate on the right side. The hand pump got blocked due to debris and electric pump got short-circuited. However, he later found a spare electric pump and connected it to drain the water. All the people kept pumping the water all night long. Their mayday calls were also not answered as they were in the remotest corner of the world. His daughter, Sue, on the other hand, had now a swollen black eye and a deep cut in her arm. On being asked by the father about her injuries, she told him that she did not want him to worry as he was trying to save them. After 15 hours, the situation got under control. The narrator decided to work in rotation and rested. The water level was controlled, but the leaks were still there. And then the ship was in bad shape then. It was not in the condition to reach Australia, and so they decided to reach the nearest island, Isle Amsterdam, a French scientific base. As their supporting engines were also damaged, the chances of the ship to reach the island were low. After pumping the water out continuously for 36 hours, they took a sigh of relief. Only a few centimeters of water was left to be pumped out of the boat. They hoisted the storm jib as the main mast was destroyed. They ate their first meal in 2 days, some corned beef and the crackers which his wife brought. The weather soon started changing, and again the black clouds took over. By the morning of January 5. His son Jonathan told him that he did not fear death as long as they were all together. This filled him with determination to fight the sea. The struggle continued, and the narrator tried his best to protect the weakened starboard sides. The same evening, the narrator and his wife sat together, holding hands, thinking that their end was near. His children continuously supported him, which gave him moral support to keep going. Then the Wavewalker sailed through the storm and made it. The narrator then calculated their exact position by working on the wind speed. While he was brainstorming, Sue gave him a card that she had made expressing her love and gratitude towards the family. He also instructed Larry to steer the course to 185 degrees. He said that if they were lucky, they could hope to find an island by 5 p.m. on the same day. He dozed off and suddenly got up around 6 p.m. He believed that they did not make it and was disappointed. His son came and informed him about how they reached the Isle Amsterdam Island, and he called him the best daddy in the world and the best captain as well. Then they reached the island with little struggle and with the help of 28 inhabitants living on the same island. The whole team, the family, and the 2 crew members never stopped trying. Their struggle and hard work finally saved them. They had set an example that optimism helps us to endure even the direst stress. It was the beautiful example set by the author and his entire family. Now we will discuss the textual exercise starting from page number 18 in your book. First of all, we'll take the questions from the heading Understanding the Text. Question number 1 is, list the steps taken by the captain to protect the ship when rough weather began. Children, as I told you, the rough weather began on January 1 and the writer had to take some important steps to protect the ship. So the answer to this question would be, the narrator decided to slow down the ship to protect it from bad and stormy weather. He dropped the storm jib and lashed heavy mooring rope across the stern of the ship. Then they double lashed everything. They carried their life raft drill, attached lifeline, donned life jackets and oilskins. If you notice, this answer is completely given on page number 14 in your book only. The second part of the same question is, list the steps taken by the captain to check the flooding of the water in the ship. To check the flooding of the water, the narrator put waterproof hatch which covered the gaping holes. This diverted the water flow to the side. His hand pumps were blocked due to debris and his one electric pump was also short-circuited. He found a hand pump and a spare electric pump. He also connected the electric pump to the outpipe and then started it. Now, under the same heading, there is question number 2. Describe the mental condition of the voyagers on 4th and 5th January. The answer to this question must be, on January 4, the voyagers felt relieved as they were continuously pumping out water for the past 36 hours and only a few centimeters of water was left there. They had their first meal in 2 days and Mary found some corned beef and cracker biscuits and it was their meal. Then later around 4 p.m. the weather changed as black clouds marched towards them. The wind was now 40 knots and the sea was getting higher. The weather got worse and by the early morning of January 5, the situation got worse. This gave them mental stress. Children, question number 3 is, describe the shifts in the narration of the events as indicated in the 3 sections of the text and give a subtitle to each section. Actually, according to this question, you have to give the entire chapter into 3 sections and the whole chapter will be summarized and you are supposed to give a subtitle to each section you are describing. So the first section must be given the subtitle Beginning of the Round the Voyage. This first section was cheerful and full of hope as the family began their planned voyage, just like the one done 200 years ago by the famous Captain James Cook. They had perfected their seafaring skills for 16 years. They built a ship, Wave Walker, professionally, which was a 23 meters long, 30 tons wooden hulled ship, and they celebrated Christmas, enjoyed their New Year despite the bad weather on the ship. This section was their first section when the journey began, and they enjoyed not only Christmas but the New Year as well. Then we proceed to the second section. The second section should be given the subtitle like the struggle with the big attack, because there was a big attack of one huge wave onto their ship, and it was a struggling section of not only the narrator but all the people who boarded with him on the ship. So this section changed from cheerful to intense. The family was under great pressure to survive the oncoming waves and bad weather conditions. A giant wave created chaos and the ship was about to overturn. The narrator was thrown off into the water and he almost drowned and got injured. And he thought that his death was approaching as he was losing his consciousness as well. And then, along with the two hired crewmen, the narrator tried to pump out the water from the ship for a continuous 36 hours. He also tried repairing the parts of the ship which were broken. He almost lost his hope and believed that he would die. But his children were fearless and courageous enough, which gave him determination to fight back the roughest weather. Then we proceed to the third section. The third section was the section of victory. With the support of his children, the narrator kept trying to save the ship in order to reach the two small islands, Isle Amsterdam, and they finally reached the destination and got help from the 28 inhabitants of the same island. His son called him the best daddy and the best captain in the world. It was the section of their victory. In such a way, we can define the entire chapter. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together into 3 sections. Now let's proceed to the next set of questions talking about the text on the same page number 18. Its first question is, what difference did you notice between the reaction of the adults and the children when they were faced with danger? And the answer to this question should be, there was a huge difference between the reaction of the adults and the children. The adults lose their hope at the end and wait for their fate of death. On the other hand, the children were hopeful and gave the narrator moral support. With the support of his children, Jonathan and Suzanne, he decided to make it to the island at any cost. The children showed maturity. His son expressed courage as to how he wasn't afraid to die if they all were together. His daughter made him a card expressing her love and affection towards her parents and wrote a beautiful message. She was injured still. She did not let it become a hurdle for her parents who were trying to save the ship. So it was the best example set by the children when they were faced with danger. There was a huge difference noticed between the reaction of the adults and the reaction of the children. Let's proceed to question number 2. How does the story suggest that optimism helps to endure the direst stress? Children, this is value-based question and it's very important as well. The answer should be, optimism is the determination to overcome any challenges. Without optimism means positive thinking. It's impossible to face difficulties and solve problems. The family fought with the sea with the great optimism and determination which ultimately saved them. Again and again, on being attacked by the huge waves in the sea, they did not stop trying which helped them get to the shore of the Isle Amsterdam Island. When the son of the narrator told him that they were not afraid of dying if they could all be together, this showed the maturity of the children and how they played an important role in motivating the narrator, who had almost lost all his hopes. Sue, his daughter, who made him a card, showed how she was proud of her parents and did not make a big deal of her injuries, which were in a bad condition. With the struggles and efforts, they finally made it to the destination. So this shows that how optimism helped these people to endure the direst stress that they got due to the bad weather into the sea. The third one is also a value-based question which teaches us a lesson, that what lesson do we learn from such hazardous experiences when we are face to face with death? You know, children, life is never about being happy all the time, and we are constantly tested, and how we tackle every problem and rise through it is the ultimate lesson. Such hazardous situations teach us how we should react towards them. We must never lose hope and keep trying, as well as it will lead us to success. In certain situations, one must keep calm and think logically. No matter how bad the situation is, there is always a way to get out of it. The significance of being extra cautious and to make sure that the situation doesn't get worse is required at such moments. So it is better to be positive, to never lose hope, and you would be capable enough to show the best example when you are face to face with death. If you do not lose your courage, if you are strongly determined to fight the stress, you would win every battle. And then there is question number 4. Why do you think people undertake such adventurous expeditions in spite of the risk involved? This question asks, when we know there is a risk involved in such of the adventurous expeditions, then why do we undergo with such expeditions? The answer is the willingness to accept challenges drives people to take such adventurous expeditions in spite of the risk involved. People like to try different elements of nature, and some do it as a passion. Surely people already know of the risk involved in such activities, but still they do not hesitate to try it out. This is their passion of doing something different from others, and in order to satisfy this passion, they undertake such adventurous expeditions in spite of the risk involved. Children, you would have noticed that after recapitulating the whole chapter for your better understanding, I have discussed all the textual questions of the same lesson. And total, we discussed 7 questions given in your textbook. And now, you people are supposed to learn and answer these discussed questions in your Fair English notebook. The questions are given on page number 18 under the heading Understanding the Text, question 1, 2, 3, and talking about the text, question 1, 2, 3 and 4. All these questions are to be done in your Fair English notebook and learn them thoroughly. Thank you. This is the end of the lecture.